So, Marvel have played their hand. Robert Downey Jr. returns, but not as Iron Man. At least, probably not. He's been shown off as the new Doctor Doom to great fanfare at the San Diego Comic-Con. I have thoughts. I think it shows that Marvel are absolutely desperate at this point, that they have brought back Robert Downey Jr., albeit not as Iron Man as people would have liked. After the Marvel's performance, its abject failure, I expect that would be around about the time that they started making the calls. Potentially before that, because the Marvel movies have been having consistently lower returns as time has gone on, like Secret Invasion, which was nothing of the sort, and Echo. Now, I would imagine that this has prompted this move, and obviously this all ties into the Fantastic Four, which is a make-or-break movie for Marvel. I think Marvel have more or less written off the Captain America movie. I think they know that's going to underperform, and as I've said I don't think they're looking for that film to make a profit just for it to be accepted and to not be another disaster. That's what they're hoping, and it's already up against a hard time because it's following Deadpool and Wolverine, which, despite being flawed, was a hell of a lot of fun. So, we need to look at why they've done this for Doctor Doom, and obviously we've been told that he's playing Victor Von Doom, the original, and not the Iron Man variant that becomes Doctor Doom. That is important. In order to think of why they've done this, you probably need to consider Robert Downey Jr. himself. As an actor, he probably did not want to return to the role of Iron Man, especially at this time. For one thing, he's 60. Actors are a indulgent and somewhat, to some point, pretentious lot, and he would have wanted, in inverted commas, a new challenge. He's a very versatile actor, and I think when they turned around and said, look, we want you back, you've got your kind of pick of what's available, and they said, look, maybe you could come back as Doctor Doom or something. As an actor, he would have turned around and thought, right, that's a challenge worthy of my acting potential, rather than coming back and retreading old ground. As I say, actors tend to think they're like this. And to be fair, they have and are, even though they are just pretenders. They are, very good pretenders. And he would have wanted to take something on from an actor's perspective that could challenge him. And I do think that Robert Downey Jr. will make a fine Doctor Doom. I don't have any concerns about his ability to pull off Victor Von Doom. I think he can do it. What I do think is that it should have been a different actor. I certainly would have liked to have seen somebody like Jason Isaacs or Cillian Murphy, was a very popular one, taking on this role. Although Robert Downey Jr. is a fine actor, I do think it would be difficult for people to look past him as being Iron Man. He was so instrumental in making that character that I think no matter how good an acting job he does, people are going to struggle to look past that. If he does manage to pull that off, then he is truly going to go down as one of the greatest actors of all time. Up there with sort of like a Gary Oldman type thing. If he can transform himself in that way that people can look at it and go, yep, that's Victor Von Doom. I don't see any Tony Stark or anything in there at all, and they buy it, then that will be one hell of a testament to his abilities. But it does show how desperate Marvel are. Obviously, they've binned off the Kang storyline, which I think was a great idea because that fed into the multiverse. It was a failed concept. Kang is going to destroy everything. It became abstract. People didn't get it, didn't care. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy 3 worked so well, because the things that were being tortured were this group of little animals, and you could work out the villain's plan to engineer the perfect organism. It didn't matter who got killed in the meantime and that kind of stuff, and the fact that he would sacrifice a planet to do it because it was just a test bed to him. The audience can understand those stakes. They can relate to those stakes. And because you've shown the beings and the people that would get hurt by it, we can empathise with those stakes. When it comes to the multiverse, it's too big. It becomes abstract in that way. And I think that's one of the big problems with the multiverse. And that's one of the big problems with Phase 4. There just hasn't really been any stakes. Ant-Man and the Quantum Mania is like, well, we don't know anything about this quantum and we don't really care about anybody in it. So if it gets destroyed, I mean, it's this tiny, unconceivable, small little thing that doesn't make any difference. But it's like, but if Kang gets out, he's going to destroy everything and all the multiverses. It's like, well, okay, whatever. Couldn't quantify it. You can't get it in. It's too abstract. Without the foundational work being done by Marvel to make us understand. And they've never really explained to us what the multiverse is, how it functions, how it fits in.
The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
The multiverse is real.
We just know it's all very timey-wimey. And the TVA has really done us no favours with that at all, the way they've introduced that. So it's an interesting move. I think there's going to be some people that are just, I know for a fact there's going to be some people that are just, oh, wow, he's back, yeah, oh, I'm back in, Marvel's going to be brilliant, yeah. What you need to understand is this is way off in 2026. We've still got Agatha, we've still got Captain America, we've still got Ironheart, we've still got Thunderbolts, and potentially Young Avengers, all to come before this. So we are not going to know what kind of direction Marvel are taking with this, regardless whether it's a course correction or whether they're just going to keep going on down the same self-destructive pattern until then. All we know is that they've binned off the Kang storyline, which, as I say, is a good move, and they're going with Von Doom. The other thing that we need to understand is that the Fantastic Four film is due out in 2025, before Doom, and that's got Galactus in it. So how are they going to do Galactus properly and then follow it up with Doom? Already it's backwards. It should have absolutely been Doom, and then you do the film and Doom is the bad guy. I know they've done it before, but you should do it right. It's not hard. You introduce Latveria, you have a whole cycle of that, and then you have Galactus as the world-ending event later. Because we can understand Galactus, he devours planets. We can get that. We can get that planet level of destruction. And that's the way I would have done it. What they're doing here is Galactus is going to show up in the Fantastic Four, presumably be defeated in the Fantastic Four, and if not, they need to get him out of the way to introduce Doom. Where, as I say, it should have been Doom first of all, and then maybe Doom pairs up with them to defeat Galactus. This is the problem with Marvel. Marvel are very, very reactionary. They don't plan things in advance. They didn't plan Kang. I mean, it's a Disney thing. Disney didn't plan the Star Wars films. Disney didn't really plan Phase 4 properly. That's my thoughts on it. We'll see where it goes. I think Robert Downey Jr. has jumped on this from an acting perspective rather than returning to Iron Man. And who knows, it might actually, they may end up working the Iron Man variant idea into it. We never know. But I think that would be a mistake, because what he's looking for as an actor is to be seen as Doctor Doom, not as Tony Stark. So, early days, we've got a lot more to go, but it does show that Marvel is desperate. I wouldn't be surprised if they have also on the phone to Chris Evans, but this time to return as Captain America, because obviously he's a bit younger, and he can certainly reprise that role. Another thing to bear in mind is that Secret Wars is coming. All bets are off, because Secret Wars allows you to do any variant. It'll be a smorgasbord of different characters. You thought Endgame was mad? Secret Wars would be literally hundreds potentially of heroes. I wouldn't be surprised to see everyone turn up. All the Spider-Men, multiple different variants of different comic book characters that we've seen across the years. It would be the end of the multiverse with any luck. And then from then on, you're either going to get a reboot or they're going to have to think of something new, because by that point, you've done Thanos, you've done Galactus, you've done Doctor Doom. They're not doing Kang. Kang was a bad idea from the start. Where do you go? So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Marvel. I'm not super excited. I'm not like, yeah, it's going to be brilliant or anything like that. I think it's interesting. I think it shows they're desperate, and just watch this space, because there is a lot of Marvel shit to come our way before we even see anything start to get better, in my opinion. So thanks for listening, and I will catch you guys later.